ask you something. If you're a broker or team leader, when was the last time you brought in a speaker who actually shifted your team? I'm not talking about a motivational pep talk that fades by Monday morning. I mean a session where your agents walked out thinking differently, where something finally clicked, where energy shifted and momentum came back into the room. If that feels like it's been a while, or maybe it's never happened, you're not alone. And it's not because your team isn't motivated. It's because the right speaker wasn't in the room. I'm Emily Terrell, the #1 real estate coach and speaker at Tom Ferry, the top AI coach, and someone who works with brokerages across the country who want to grow their production, their culture, and their retention without burning out their people. And today, we're diving into something most leaders never talk about: how to budget for a real estate speaker, and why choosing the right one changes everything. Let's start with the biggest misconception. Most people think hiring a speaker is a cost, like ordering lunch for the office or updating your signs. But the most successful brokerages, they view speakers as an investment in culture, retention, and performance. Here's why. When a speaker walks into your room, they're doing something you can't always do on your own. They bring a new voice, a new approach, a new perspective, and a reset your agents desperately need but won't always ask for. I've been brought into offices where the broker said, "Emily, I've been saying the same thing for 6 months, but they're not hearing me." And sometimes that's exactly why you hire a speaker. Not to replace your leadership, but to reinforce it in a new voice that your team can finally receive. When you shift your thinking from cost, investment, budgeting becomes a lot clearer. Let's talk numbers, not specific prices, but what's behind those numbers, because this is where most leaders misunderstand the value. Speakers can range from a few $100s to over $20,000, but you're not paying for an hour. You're paying for one, experience solving the exact problems your team is facing: high turnover, agents feeling isolated, weak follow-up, no systems, no consistency. A great speaker has lived that, coached that, and they can walk in and speak directly to your team's pain points. 2, the ability to shift psychology. This is what most motivational speakers miss. Real estate isn't just numbers. It's emotional work. Your agents aren't robots. They're dealing with rejection, uncertainty, comparison, fear, and overwhelm. You need a speaker who understands the agent psychology and knows how to shift it. 3, momentum that lasts longer than the session. I've had brokers tell me their agents were still referencing my frameworks months later, in meetings, in huddles, even in their family routines. That's impact. That's culture change. That's retention. Here's the best part. You don't have to start with a $10,000 keynote. You can start with a virtual workshop, a tactical 60-minute session, a Q&A on systems, mindset, or AI, a short-term training series, or even a lunch plus learn with your leadership team. In fact, many of the brokerages I coach started with a single virtual session and then built a yearly or quarterly speaker budget because they saw how much it lifted the team. You don't need to go big. You need to go strategic. Ask yourself, what does my team need right now? Clarity, accountability, hope, structure, systems, momentum. Match the speaker to the need, then build the budget. Here's the part most leaders never think about. Hiring the right speaker directly impacts retention because your agents don't leave because of splits or because of leads or because of brand. They leave because they feel unsupported, disconnected, or stuck. A speaker shifts the emotional climate. They help your agents reconnect with their mission, with possibility, with confidence, with you. I once spoke for a brokerage where 3 top producers were considering leaving. After one session on systems and mental bandwidth, the broker told me they decided to stay. They just needed to feel seen and re-engaged. 1 hour did that. Imagine what it could do for your team. So yes, budget matters, but the speaker you choose and the intention behind it matters more. Pouring into your agents is never a wasted investment. And the right voice at the right time, it can completely change the trajectory of your team. If you want to explore different speaker options, topics, or budgets, you can find everything at www.coachemilyterrell.com. And if you want to talk through what your team needs right now, DM me anytime on Instagram @CoachEmilyTerrell. Your agents are your biggest asset. invest in them like they are.